Just going to show quickly how to import the various resin settings to be able to print on the Frozen Sonic Mini 8KS. In order to print on the machine, whatever you want to print essentially needs to be converted to a PRZ file using Chitubox. The newest version of Chitubox is harder to set up the different profiles, so I'm using an older version that allows you to set up the profiles more efficiently. If you navigate to the Instadental website and you go to the top here under Settings, you'll click that and it'll open up a Google Drive. From here, you can then download everything in here, which includes the older version of Chitubox as well as the various dental resin profiles. So we're just going to download that quickly here. It'll take a little bit of time for it to download here, so just be patient. Perfect. So once that's downloaded, you're just going to open it up and you're going to bring it to the desktop here. That's great. You're just going to open it up. And you'll select Chitubox, and either you're on a Windows or a Mac computer. In this case, I'm on a Mac computer. We're going to download that there. You can just drag it to the applications here, which is great. Great. And then we are going to open it up here. Perfect, yes. Great. So this is version 1.9.5, and you're going to go navigate to settings here. Now, the way that I have it set up is that on the left side, I have all the different manufacturers' names, and then I set up all the different resin profiles from within here. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to add a printer. I'm going to go down to Frozen here. Sonic Mini 8KS is going to be selected. Okay, perfect. So here there might be a bunch of profiles. Yeah, here's all the different profiles that come standard with that machine. We're going to start by deleting all of them. So you can just have to click on all these to delete all of them. Be able to delete everything besides one, as you'll have to at least leave one. And this is where we'll begin to import our resin settings. So you're going to click on this button here, Import Profile. You're going to go to the settings, active resin profiles. And again, here are all the different, the companies that I have set up that have been tested for the different resins. So we'll start with Resin, and we will go to the bite tray, just as an example. And there'll be two files in here, a profile file and a support file. In this box here, you're just importing the profile. Okay, and I'll show you how to import the support in a second. So you're going to click on that. Okay, and so what I do here is I name the manufacturer. So in this case, it's Resin. Okay, and then that way, once I have that, and I add other printers, I'm going to name them the different other companies, manufacturers of those resins. But I'm just starting with the Resin here. So that's great. Say if we wanted to import another profile, we could go here. We go to denture base again, selecting the profile here. Okay, and that's imported. Great. So now that we've done that, we can actually delete that first one. And you can see here that it says, bite tray and denture base. And again, by changing this to Resin, it'll have, that'll correspond to the manufacturer there. Great. So this is all set for that different, for the denture base in this case, with the Instaplate. So that's the size of the Instaplate. So that's all set up for you already. So if let's keep on the denture base and we'll close that here. You can see that this will match the Instaplate, so the size of the Instaplate. Great. So next you're going to want to do is you're going to import, an arch here. Okay, in this case here. Good. And then you're going to navigate over here to support. Here's where you can actually import the support profile, Instaplate, Resin, again, denture base, but instead of choosing the profile, you're going to choose the support file. Great. Okay. There's a few settings that don't get imported in when you import this. Okay. And these are going to be listed in the actual title of it. So we can see that here. Okay. So that's lift and density. Temperature is just set, manually with the Insta Heat before you start the print. But these other two, lift and density, need to be inputted manually. So those will be inputted here. So again, the lift for that one is 4, and the density is 65. And so we're going to density input 65. Perfect. That's great. You're going to click on platform, and that will fill in all of that. Now you only have to do this once for every resin, and of course you won't be printing all of these resins. You have a select few that you'd like to use, but in this case that's how you set it up. Okay, and then we can go back to here and we can actually slice it now. So if we click slice, it'll kind of explain everything here, and you can then save it again. This is going to be the actual PRZ file, so you're going to want to save it maybe on your desktop, for example. Now it's important that these names aren't very long, because the frozen printer may not be able to print it if it's too long, so might have to shorten it. Just put maxillary arch in this case. Save. Perfect. Good, and then you're going to have that file. So that PRZ can then be put on a USB stick and then inserted into the frozen machine. I'm just going to show one other thing here. So say we go back to settings here, and we don't want to use a Rodin resin. Okay, so we're going to actually make a new machine. Perfect. Okay. We're going to delete all these again. Good. And then we're going to import a new one, a new profile. So let's go active resin. So Keyprint, another company. Let's use. We'll go KeyCast, profile. Okay. You would then change this name to Keyprint. Okay. Everything's set up for you. Okay. So you can import another Keyprint, for example, maybe Keysplint Soft. It's a certain color here. Profile. All right. And then, delete that first one again. And then you'd have all the different, all the different key prints. I like having it organized this way. Just makes it a little bit easier, right? Having it organized by manufacturer. So hopefully that helps.